Good morning. This is Sharon again. I'm still playing with the filters here. This is a kind of a holiday filter. I thought I'd put it on today. Anyway, so let me talk about what I'm here to talk about. Okay, so this is Sharon Finn. For those who don't know me already, I'm a registered nurse. I've worked in the medical field for over 36 years. Well, I actually worked in the medical field for over 38 years. I've been a nurse for over 36 years. And I am here to talk about diabetes and anger. Yeah, anger. Anger issues. So the discussion about anger is not actually just for diabetics because anybody can have anger. And so today we're going to talk about anger and some of the things that you can do when anger comes up. And the reason we're talking about anger today is because I remember back when I was told that I had diabetes, one of the first emotions that came up for me was anger. And so we're going to talk about that today as we get a few more people coming on here. And hello, James. Thank you for joining me here today. I appreciate you being here. I know you could have been doing some other stuff, but thanks for tuning in. So today we'll just go ahead and get right into it. So anger, let's talk about anger. What does anger look like? So anger looks differently for different people. And for me, anger was a strong feeling. I was annoyed, when the doctor said, you have diabetes. I was very annoyed. It was not a pleasurable time, and it was not a pleasurable time to be around me because I was not quite hostile, I'll say. I wasn't hostile, and I didn't have, rage or, vex. I wasn't vexed or whatever, but I was irritated. And so that's one of the signs that you're getting angry and that you have anger in you, is that you get irritated pretty easily. And I was very, very, very irritated. Not necessarily with the doctor. I actually was angry with myself, like how could this happen to me, right? That's what was going on in my head. How could this be happening? And so I was not a happy camper. Yeah, just to say the least. But I want to talk about anger because anger actually is normal. Anger is a normal occurrence. It's healthy to be angry. And it is something that humans do because we're all human beings, right? And so we all, as humans, do get angry. It looks like I got someone that's trying to come on. I'm not sure. Okay, they left. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Fred, for coming on. And we're talking about anger today, not necessarily in regards to people who have diabetes, but just anger in general. So anger is normal. It's normal to have anger. And I was talking about the experience that I had when I found out that I had diabetes. And I don't know if any of you who are looking at this video, if you had that experience when you were told that you had diabetes. Is that something that the emotion that occurred to you? And if it is, put that in the chat and you just say me too. Okay, so and if you know someone who may want to hear the information that I'm going to be sharing today about anger, whether they're diabetic or not, hit the share button and share this to people on your timeline because maybe someone want to hear it, okay? So anger was one of the first emotions that I had when I was told that I had diabetes. And I've evolved from that. I still get angry sometimes about other things, but not necessarily about that. So when we get news, someone gives us some news that we don't want to hear, sometimes anger is one of the reactions that we get. And that is what happened to me. I was very, very irritable. I was very, very annoyed of how this could possibly be going on. But I later learned that it was all normal. It was something that I could do something about. And I did. I did figure out a way to get myself off 4 insulin shots per day because I eventually was on 4 insulin shots per day. Not sure what happened there. Had a little glitch here in my computer. On my phone. I'm doing this on my phone, so I'm not sure what is happening. Okay. All right. So thank you for bearing with me here. So hopefully this is still coming through live. And if it's not, you missed a little portion. My phone is messing up here. I don't know, some kind of technical thing going on. But we're talking about anger. So we want to also. So today we want to talk about some ways that that you can kind of thwart the anger. Some ways you can handle the anger. And so these are some things that I did back then, and these are things I currently do when I see myself getting angry. So here we go. Let's talk about some things that you can do and what I did when you get angry. These may be some tips that will be beneficial to someone watching. I don't know who this is for, but when I got up this morning, I was like, I think I'm going to talk about anger. I felt like, I was being led to talk about anger today. So maybe this is to help somebody. So one of the first things that I had to do was to tune in to what was really going on. Okay, I'm angry. They just told me I had diabetes. I went to the hospital for one thing, and that's when I found out that I had diabetes. So I was not a happy camper. So what I had to do was kind of think to myself, really, what's really going on here? I had to become more self-aware. And I recommend this to everyone, start looking at yourself first. No outside anything. It is all from within. Okay, so you want to look at what's going on with you while you are angry. So you want to take deep breaths. You may want to take a walk if that's possible. But for me at the time, it wasn't, because I was in a hospital bed in the emergency room. You may want to, another thing that you can do, and I've done this at other times, is to watch a comedy. Watch a funny movie when you find yourself getting angry. I say put on a comedy. Laughter is the best medicine. So I love to laugh. I love comedy. I love having fun. And so I've found that I've discovered that, watching comedies or finding ways to laugh will just disperse any kind of anger that you may have, no matter what the anger was about. When we start laughing, it releases some hormones in our body that's really good for our body. So watch a funny movie. You can also meditate. A couple of years ago, I learned how to meditate, and I started doing that on a regular basis. You can also exercise, go for a walk, exercise, whatever kind of exercise you like. You can also pray. So those are some things that you can do when you find yourself getting angry. Go within first, become more self-aware, and kind of do some things that kind of get you off that anger topic, okay? And then the other thing, number 2, is to look at if you're blaming anybody. Because at the hospital, I was angry, and I wasn't really blaming the doctors for the diabetes. I couldn't do that, but I was kind of irritated with the doctors. So I was kind of misplacing my blame, which there was no one to blame. So for those who have diabetes and those who don't, whenever something comes up and you get angry, there is actually no one to blame. And I have since discovered that getting angry is kind of like a learning experience. You can learn more about yourself when you're angry. You can look at, well, what is it that happened that triggered this anger? Like, why am I angry about that? So it's a time to reflect and to look at what's going on with you that triggered that anger for whatever that was. Okay, so that's not a time to blame, but a time to reflect when you have anger. So anger actually is a good teacher. Okay. So number 3, you want to tell yourself to calm down. Of course, probably going to be people all around you telling you to calm down, but you need to tell yourself to calm down. Okay. So that's another tip to help you get past the anger. Some people say, count to 100, count to 10, take deep breaths. All of that helps you to calm down. And hopefully during this holiday season that we're getting ready to encounter here will not cause anger for anybody. But if it do, I do recommend that you try some of these tips that we're talking about today to help you with your anger. Okay. Now, number 4, we're only going to do 5. So number 4 says, identify why you are angry. And we kind of spoke to that earlier. You want to look at, why are you angry about whatever this is? Why are you angry? Now, for me, I discovered when they told me that I had diabetes, the reason I was angry was because I couldn't figure out why something like that could happen to me, because I was doing, quote unquote, everything that I was supposed to do to stay healthy. You know, I was eating right, I was exercising, you know, I was staying busy and active, and, you know, and I was, educating other people about diabetes and knowing what's right and knowing what's wrong in the world of managing diabetes and how to keep from having diabetes. And oh my goodness, the list goes on and on and on about that. Okay. So I was pretty much angry because, like, you know, of that. Why? You know, so why was this happening to me? So that's what was going on. So you want to identify why you're angry. I was angry because here I am, a registered nurse, and is there anything that I could have done to prevent this? Well, and the answer is no, nothing I could have done to prevent it. Was it anything that's going on in my family that I could have, that could have prevented it? No, not really. Sometimes they will say it's your nutrition, how you eat, and they say that, it runs in your family. But that's not really what runs in your family. Diabetes is not what runs in our family. It is the way our family eats that run in our family. So I was eating the way my great-grandmother ate. I was eating the way my grandmother ate. I was eating the way my mom ate. So those kind of habits could lead to the diabetes. But no, again, no blame for anything. So that was what I took on. I inherited the eating habits that my ancestors had. So I continued that. So that's something to look at. Why are you angry? And is it really, really worth the anger? Okay, because you didn't cause it. And then the 5th thing that I want to leave with you in the area of, anger and anger issues is to don't play the victim. So when you're given a diagnosis, particularly a diagnosis of diabetes, sometimes people, and I'm going to probably one day do a class about this. People walk around like they're a victim of something. Like, the world did them wrong. Or, things shouldn't have happened like this to them. They're better than this. So they have this victim mentality that really it's no place for. There is no place for a victim mentality in anybody's life, because things happen. And things happen. Okay. So there's no reason when you become a victim of your circumstance, it does not make your circumstance better for you to go around, being a victim or having a pity party or whatever it is, or however it occurs in your life, however you play that out when you think that you're a victim. So I say, look at whether you're thinking that you're a victim or not. Look at, are you, being a martyr over here? Just kind of look at that. And if that's true, see what it is that you can do to stop that kind of mindset or thinking. So that's it. So those are my 5 tips for, getting through anger when you've been told that you have a certain disease. In my case, it was diabetes, and I did have anger. I did work through it. And so I want to, encourage everybody that if you do have anger, find some ways to work through it. Maybe, institute some of these ideas that I just said. Do some research on your own. Google is your best friend. Do some research on your own about what to do when you're angry, because you really don't want to go through anger in your life, because it actually makes your health worse if you're in an anger state. Okay. So that's it for today. Just thought I'd talk about anger. And again, if you know somebody who might want to hear what I said today, please share this with them. Hopefully the information that I've shared will be helpful to somebody. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming on to listen to what I had to say today. I appreciate you. I love you all. Fred, Carol, DeAndre, Fred, and James. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow with some topic I'm not sure yet. Some topic that hopefully will help people who have diabetes. And if you want to know more about some of the classes and courses that I have for diabetes, you can contact me by email. You can email me at sharonfant01@gmail.com. Or if you want to buy my book, because I did buy a book, it's called Your Doctor is Not the Boss of You. If you want to get my book, you can just go to sharonfant.com. Or it's on Amazon. You can go to amazon.com. So Your Doctor is Not the Boss of You. All right. Thank you, everybody, and take care. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.